live?
We're live, my brother. We're live.
We living.
Bitch, I'm paid. That's all I gotta say.
Okay. We got decent audio.
We got the audio rolling. Wow.
We got the audio rolling.
All right.
Gentlemen.
Facebook, we're doing something new.
We're
Multi-angle.
We are. Your mic is kind of in your face though, so I don't know if you want to switch that up.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I can't do anything about that.
You, man. You can move the iPad.
Yeah, but this is the best angle I can get. I've already
That's
tried a
true.
million things.
That's true. I guess we should shout out our sponsor this week. Our
Who's that?
show this week is sponsored by Hornitos. Happy birthday, Toronto. We got some Hornitos for your ass.
Yeah, tequila for Toronto.
Tequila for Toronto.
Wow, this looks good on the phone,
Actually,
eh?
to be completely honest with you, Mike brought it in, so.
Yo, this looks really good.
There you go. That's what's up, brother. You liking that shit, huh?
Yo.
Let's transition over to Maloney. And let's,
Hey.
let's add a little third there.
Bang.
See,
Yo,
unfortunately, it's
this
not.
Oh, that's what you're doing.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
Oh,
multi-angle.
But it's blocking his face.
Yeah, because he's not
What, the
high
mic?
enough yet.
Oh no,
What's blocking?
you can see. No, he put up your name and everything.
Oh, word, eh?
Came up like some
Whoa,
cool ass graphics.
Yeah.
Whoa, man.
Wow.
So this is
That's
like,
some
can you
OG.
watermark our logo on it?
I can.
I guess
I'll
for the
figure it
future,
out.
right?
Do that another day, though.
Yeah.
Let's get with the shit.
Yeah.
So
We're up
Mike
in the
Stoan
ante.
brought us some Hornitos. That's the
Yeah.
good shit too. That's the good fucking Swaza.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
salute,
go.
brother.
I love tequila,
Salute,
man. I love lots of shit.
Ah.
As I said on my Facebook the other day, and people are like, "What's wrong with this guy?"
Ah.
Motherfucker, when you offer me a drink, make sure you just get what I tell you.
If anyone,
Give anything.
if you're mixing, if you want a
Yeah.
little sparkling
I'll
to make
grab
that
that.
go
I'll grab it
further.
for my next round.
You know,
Cheers.
Next round.
Yeah.
Next round. For
Cheers.
Toronto.
Cheers for
Make some noise for Toronto.
Bam, bam, bam. 185.
Should we sing Happy Birthday?
Should we?
Happy birthday.
Let's just put
No,
Cardi
we'll
B.
get sued for that shit.
Let's
Does somebody own the birthday song?
Somebody does own, if I'm not mistaken. That's why in movies you barely ever hear them singing "Happy
Get the
Birthday."
fuck out of here.
Well, we could make our own birthday song.
True. Happy birthday, T-Dot. T-Dot, it's your birthday. So
Hey, yo, I
are
do
we
gotta say-
canceling Michael Jackson now?
Oh man, we're diving right into that.
Oh, the shits.
I was gonna talk about your reverse Waldo outfit first. But
Hey, make some noise for the
straight
reverse
up,
Waldo.
Yeah,
You know?
blue for
Waldo,
Toronto,
bro.
blue cups.
Hey, you know what I mean?
There
I had to
you go.
rep
We
the
got
dot.
blue Jay hats.
I had to rep the dot, man. You know what I'm
Toronto
saying?
hard today.
Got them T-Dot
Represent.
colors on. Yo, don't make fun of this shit, fam. It's polo.
Polo Waldo blue.
It's polo.
Polo.
Wow.
Shout out to Thurston Howell III.
Yep.
Yo, shout out to is Skillionaire or Skilligan's Island album. That shit is fucking dope. I love that album, bro. Like that's one of my favorite albums, straight up.
He is the polo don.
Oh,
That dude be rocking polo that you're like, that shit don't even look nice, but I bet there's
Yeah.
only one of those and it's from like 1972.
Bet you that shit costs like
Yeah.
fucking $10,000.
Like he'd be rocking some really crazy ass looking shit sometimes. It's like a big ass polo logo on the front.
Yeah.
Like it looks like something that like. some,
Is
like
he's still around? Like, he still put out records?
Yeah.
well, he's still like he's
doing
still
his
active,
thing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still getting it.
Yeah.
Man. He's still getting it.
I've heard his name in a
He's
while.
still repping mad crazy polo.
Yeah, look at this motherfucker.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. We try to
What did
do
it say?
something.
Couldn't think of something?
Couldn't think of something to put there. So you know what I'm saying?
That's what you put in, or that's what the
Yeah,
program
That's
says?
what I put.
Okay.
Hey,
Yo, this is dope. This is dope.
I
yo.
hope it's streaming on YouTube right now. It should be streaming on
Yeah,
YouTube.
you are streaming on YouTube.
Okay.
Because that popped up on my
Oh.
phone. I got a
Oh,
notification
word. That's what's up.
saying you're live and shit. And I was like, alright.
Oh.
Ooh.
That's what's up. So we're streaming the both. We're streaming the both. We multi-streaming.
Yo, when I talked to Billy Danz last night on the phone, he
Yeah.
said something and I was like, fire! And he was so amused by that. He laughed his ass off.
Yeah. Went crazy for that shit.
Yeah, I was like, yo, I think I do a pretty good MOP fire.
Shout out to MOP. Did you show me
Yeah.
a 50 Cent? Did you tell him Curtis Collin?
Say what?
Oh, yeah, you didn't
You
show
say
him
fucking
feel like
Curtis Jackson?
Feel like
Well,
Curtis?
feel like 50?
Yeah, I feel like 50.
No, I didn't try to sell him on that idea.
Oh, not yet.
No, I don't think, yeah.
You might run into 50 when you go down to New York.
Yeah, if I run into 50, I'd be like, yo, I got the genius business plan. But here on film, you were telling me right now this is 50-50. Get it? And he'd be like, yeah, man, I get that. You know what I'm saying? What you got to show me, yo, man?
Word.
And I'd be like, yo, 50. What if people wanted to feel like 50?
He'd be like, you fucking.
And it's just going to be like fucking a knife from Black Child hit him in the ribs again. He going to be like... and then, you know what I mean?
You wild.
fuck vitamin water, we'd be selling boxer briefs. Yo, getting into
Speaking
business
of boxer briefs.
Boxer briefs with 50 Cent is nuts.
Did you hear what the maid was saying about Michael Jackson and boxer briefs and briefs all over the place?
Nah.
I got a glimpse of that. I
But
was
beautiful segue.
like, fucked up, man.
No, what the fuck was the maid
what's-
saying? Like, I didn't hear
what's
shit. I haven't watched this documentary
Talking
yet.
about
but-
finding crusty, yellow-stained briefs to kids wearing briefs, not wearing briefs, wearing Michael Jackson briefs, briefs in the golf cart, briefs here, briefs there. I'm just like, you seen this all and didn't say shit.
Okay. Seems a little odd.
Do we believe this though?
No, it's not that I believe it, but if you saw all of this shit
Yeah.
and you didn't say nothing until 20 years
Yeah.
later, you're a piece of shit.
Because
I
you
I don't care how
know-
much money you're getting paid.
Because you also know the controversy, right? That apparently the Jackson family is saying that this guy, who was one of the accused, one of the accusers originally, that said, or what? Like, how'd it go? He was an accuser originally as a kid, and then
He said his parents lied.
or something like that.
When Jackson died, he came out and said his parents told him to lie.
Yeah, and there's another one
Yeah.
who committed suicide who also said the same thing before
Yeah.
he committed suicide.
Yeah.
But the point I'm getting at is, like with this guy, the Jackson family said that he was seeking a job from them or something for like a number of years,
And they were just saying,
and he was like upset.
Yeah.
And then with this whole surviving R. Kelly thing and that was like, what was it, Lifetime that did that?
Yeah.
That was like their biggest numbers they've done in I think like 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
Like it was some crazy
Yeah.
statistic like that. So now this is going to be the new thing.
But this is the thing, though. When surviving
Incriminating documentaries about famous people. Like, this would be the new thing.
When the
Yeah,
R. Kelly
yeah.
thing came out, the Michael Jackson thing already came out. It was already playing in Europe
Oh, word.
at the same time.
Oh,
And this is
okay.
what I was telling people before. I'm going to wait until the Michael Jackson shit comes out. I'm going to see if you guys are going to keep the same energy.
Yeah.
This was a few months ago.
So did you watch it though?
No, not yet.
No? Okay.
Not yet. I just heard the thing about what the maid was saying.
Yeah.
She was on 60 Minutes. I didn't watch the whole thing. I didn't have time. But just the 5 minutes of what I heard, I'm like, damn. Briefs all over the place? Kids
Well, when
wearing
you first
briefs,
said
no
like
briefs
fine,
on?
when you first said that,
Yeah.
I was like,
That's
yeah,
fucked
that's
up.
normal. Like, when I was 13, my mom was finding yellow
No,
crusty
but
boxers and
that's
shit.
what I'm
But then when you
saying.
went on further to saying like in the fucking
I
Ferris
saw your
wheel,
face.
fucking beside the monkey pit, the fucking beside there's briefs on his fucking shiny glove in the case. There's fucking
She had to clean up. But again, my thing is, if you're an adult and you're seeing all this shit, and I get it, he might be
you didn't say
intimidating.
anything.
She'll get money.
Say something.
She said that after
Well, now
that.
she's getting money
You know what I'm
too.
saying? Like,
Then she was saying something about at one point Michael Jackson hit her up and said, "What do you know?" This is what she said. She doesn't know anything. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Then after that, there's a point where he let her go, and that was it. Based on the fact of what.
So
Yeah.
are all
That's
these
fucked up.
people in this documentary? Do they have like personal like grievances with MJ or something?
I don't know. We'd have to investigate all of them.
Because this guy seemed like, I guess you haven't seen it. Because that's the other
Yeah.
thing I'm curious of. Because people don't seem to be after the cancel so much with this like they were with the R. Kelly. Like the
People
R.
on it,
Kelly
like, there's-
apparently really drove home. I haven't even watched that.
There's
yet.
some stations across the globe that are already not playing
Come back.
MJ no more. Not even other places too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was reading some other articles. I forgot exactly where, but
You know what? That
Yeah.
nah.
yeah, I heard that a lot of radio stations have been pretty much like saying, okay, whatever. Started in Quebec, but I've been hearing that like it's spreading.
Well,
yeah.
And a
Why-
lot of celebrities.
Why is it all of the black musicians though, like the black heroes? Because like who was it? Not Mick Jagger.
Elvis or
One of those lead singers from one of those famous early rock bands. Fucking fucking Steven Tyler. Like, didn't he fucking marry his like stepdaughter at 13 or something fucked up?
Something crazy
Yeah.
like that, you know what I mean? Like
Aerosmith ain't canceled.
I guess
They won't.
not.
You know what I mean? A lot of these
Aerosmith.
motherfuckers do crazy
Yeah.
shit. What, like, so like the movie
Elvis.
network on TV can still play Harvey Weinstein movies? But
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely an interesting subject, and it's definitely something that deserves to be looked at. Because society, like I said, has to change. You know what I mean? Like, you can't have those old views. Like I said, we talked about whether it was American Pie or even going back and watching some of the John Hughes movies from back in the day. There was a lot of situations where it was like, whoa, this is a little funky in today's technical
100%.
standpoint. So just a lot of that.
But a lot of that stuff too, like you got to look at too. Like I don't know if I said this when we talked American Pie, but this is a point I've been thinking of more recently. Is at that time, it's not like it was just widely accepted to be doing this kind of stuff. Like, it was edgy then.
Yeah.
Like, the whole idea of American Pie is like, the holy American, like, patriotic image, the American Pie, and Jason Biggs sticks his dick in it.
It was satire towards that.
Yeah, like, he puts his dick in the American Pie.
Yeah. And nobody's complaining about that.
And they couldn't cover why. I guess they were not lending the rights of that song out to that movie. They're like, nuh-uh.
They would have made a shit ton of money if they did.
Bars if they did that.
Yeah, right. Like, they would have made some serious ducking off something like that. Fuck, man.
Janelle Monáe can have fucking whatever that song is, the big boy in a fucking Nissan commercial. Man, they could have milked that shit.
But no, man, I don't know. I don't know why it's happening primarily with black stars. I guess it's just they're the ones.
Well, I find they're the big. Those three in particular were not just because they're black, is that they were the biggest known entities.
Yeah,
and they crossed over into white America.
Yeah, we talk about
so it's not like they
Michael
were just
Jackson.
Yeah, they're not just of the black community. They are a part of white culture.
Yeah,
but do you think that could have something to do with why there's a big cancellation on these guys?
Yeah,
because there's a lot of guilty people, like Kevin Spacey.
Yeah,
he'd been canceled, but not canceled.
No, he's been canceled. He hasn't got any roles since.
He probably won't get any roles, but I mean, once again, the movie network's probably still playing fucking
stuff that he's in.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, he's not completely canceled. Like, you're pulling MJ songs off the radio.
Yeah.
That's a big statement.
Well, I mean, it's unfortunately, it deserves to be looked into, at least. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just be like, okay, these guys are fucking lying, throw them out of society, I'm not going to believe them. So it definitely, investigate into it.
I'm not going to say I don't believe them. Yeah. I don't want to believe them.
Yeah.
Because after everything that's happened through the years, and, like, I've read Michael Jackson's biography, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Seen the cases, kind of followed them, seen where they ended up after years, like people saying this didn't happen and stuff. And
to bring it out,
so I've always kind of, because for a period of my younger years, I kind of had to not cancel Michael Jackson, but, like, I just didn't feel right listening to him for a while, right? And then as I got older and things started to come out and I learned more things, I thought I understood more, and I personally don't think he did fucked up shit. Like, he did a lot of shit to save the world. Like, he was always donating tons of money to, like, third world countries, going around personally. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and not like Kanye giving 100 shoes away. Like, he was, like, really doing shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Behind the scenes, and that's the fucked up part.
But powerful people continue to get brought down when they're a threat to the system.
Well, put it like this. The Catholic Church has been at it for a minute.
Yeah.
They're very powerful.
Yeah.
No one's brought them down yet.
Yeah, and the thing I gotta say too is, like, with documentaries, like a point you made on Facebook, and it's like, so do you said something like, do we cancel MJ now, or like, how did you work?
I put it like this: there's a lot of docs out there.
Yeah.
From 9/11 docs that's talking about it being an inside job.
Yeah.
To
I think your question was like, are we canceling people off documentaries?
Yeah, because if that's the case, then cancel everybody.
Yeah, there's a lot of people to be canceled.
There's a lot of documentaries out there.
And that's the thing, is like, so technically right now, the American government, the Federal Reserve, and the central banking system, basically the whole global capitalist structure that is controlling our planet right now should all be canceled.
Yeah. Basically,
there's more evidence that 9/11 was an inside job than to what I'm led to believe about this Michael Jackson case.
Yeah. Actual.
Because from what I've heard, there's not a million interviews in it. They talk to more narrowed down group of people.
Yeah, which was definitely an inside job.
Oh, 100%.
That was an insurance scam.
I honestly,
straight up insurance
scam. Still know people. It was more than that, though. It was so much more than that.
Yeah,
it was like a grand domino slam where you like nailed like 10 things out the fucking.
Yeah, and they had to destroy like the hard copies and that.
There was evidence and stuff in those buildings, but on top of that, like the insurance scam, that was a huge thing.
Just the $200 billion in gold that went missing.
So much stuff, man. So much stuff. Not only that, but like, and the people who conscribed it, how they were, Bushes and Bin Laden were sitting both on the same chair board of fucking certain massive companies. They both had mass shares in oil and fucking missile companies.
Yeah.
So while they're going to war with Afghanistan, the weapons are being bought from a company that both Dick Cheney and Bush Sr. and Bush Jr., if I'm not mistaken, both had large shareholders.
Halliburton.
Yeah, Halliburton. Yeah. So
the information's out there if people want the information.
But do they want to believe it, even if they have the facts?
they don't want to believe it.
That's
And this
it.
is why, to your question, I said people pick and choose when it's convenient to their life.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Because I know people who I speak about, like, just simple
Yeah.
conspiracies, like 9/11, not even like the deep shit,
Yeah.
but like, and they're like almost mad that you're telling them this, or like they don't even want to hear it. But that would be the first person to go cancel Michael Jackson after watching this documentary.
Exactly.
They pick and choose where they want to, where it's most
And
convenient
my thing
for
is,
them.
if you really believed he was a pedophile from the days you heard that word about it, then you're gonna quickly cancel him.
Exactly.
And if you don't believe
You've
it,
already
and
been
you really,
canceled.
and if you're a real big fan, you're gonna have a problem with it. That's why I said, between R. Kelly and Thing, I'm gonna see the shift because I already know a majority of people love Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Of course.
Not saying the majority of people don't love R. Kelly.
Of course.
But he
you
has
can't-
more allegations over a period of time.
You can't let your love for a celebrity blind you from
the truth.
the truth. You know what I
Exactly,
mean?
yeah.
So I'm gonna go into this documentary watching it with like eyes closed type.
And knowing that there's always an
I'm
agenda
gonna
behind
give it
what
at
you say.
least. I'm gonna try to be as unbiased as possible watching it.
The best thing you can do going into it, because I hear it's very biased.
Yeah.
The best thing you do going into it is just know as much as you can about Michael
Right,
Jackson and
right.
the cases
Yeah.
and the information on the outside
Yeah.
of things.
Because again,
Because they don't give you that in this
perspective.
documentary.
Yeah. They give you one side.
And a lot of documentaries do that, but sometimes you do watch a good one where they give you both sides.
Yeah.
Very rarely.
Yeah.
But
it's crazy too that now you can say his brothers are saying it's bullshit, but when you have Macaulay Culkin and fucking even Feldman, because he spoke about being molested.
That's
He spoke about being molested in the industry. So
Right.
for him, I'm not saying. Well, again, he said they didn't do it to us.
yeah.
But who knows if he did it to anybody?
That's that's where you know what I mean. Like I want to know is like dude Corey Feldman. He's a renegade against that stuff in the industry, and he's kind of really close to Michael. To Michael Jackson.
And are you gonna compromise your integrity like that just to protect the name of somebody?
Right.
Who
No,
was an old
absolutely
man
not.
around you when you were a kid?
No,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
That's
You know
the
what I
whole
mean? I'm
point.
sure like he spent enough time around Michael Jackson that he would have seen some shit. But again, I can't say with 100% certainty, right? So I'm not gonna call like the accusers liars. Like that's bullshit.
I'm not saying
I'm not gonna
that.
say that like I'm not gonna say Mike was this. I'm gonna at least try to view this at some point in time and be like okay, and form an opinion based on what I see or whatnot.
Yeah.
But, it is what it
It's
is.
a hard one to call, man.
And if the evidence is there, then I gotta give him the same treatment I gave R. Kelly.
Yeah.
I can't not because he's Michael Jackson.
No, no,
that's
question
just
though. Question
hypocritical.
though.
You know
No,
what I'm
but
saying?
you know what? I just want. It's like what you always
Yeah.
say. I just want people to keep the same energy.
Yeah.
Right.
If this stuff bothers you,
Right.
because someone made a documentary about it, then it should bother you even if there is no documentary.
Right.
So then let's talk about all these other people that are revered as legends in rock music. These
The list goes
nasty
down.
old white people, or even a lot of old white fucking actors. There's some
Yeah.
real nasty shit that used to happen. I don't have everything computed,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, in my
Yeah.
head, and I don't want to say the wrong scenarios with the wrong
I
people.
don't
So
think you
I'm
can
just gonna.
necessarily narrow it down to nasty old white or this, that.
No,
but
No, there's a lot of nasty old white
society.
dudes.
Society in general has always been set up in a
The
patriarchal.
Catholic Church is a bunch of nasty old.
Yeah.
No.
And
fucking
they've been
doubt.
getting passes. They get convicted too, but it's pass after pass after pass. There has been no condemnation of the Catholic Church.
No, we don't cancel the church.
Right?
We cancel one man, but not a whole system that actually
that perpetuates.
almost promotes this kind of behavior.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to get let go. You just get moved.
Yeah.
You just get shifted
I
around.
feel you. But the problem is it's we live in a patriarchal society where it puts dominant men, ahead of everybody else. So in doing that, it creates predators, it creates deviants, it creates these guys who think they can get away with stuff. Because up until recently, up until probably 30 years ago, these guys were able to get away with it 99% of the fucking
never be
time,
questioned
right?
about it.
Never be questioned about it. And now they're being called into question. So the whole way in which society kind of of came up and was raised and just, thoughts of thinking, it's kind of a clash with where we're at now. You know what I mean? Technology and where we're at now, it's like, you can't get away with this shit anymore. You know what I mean?
No, not like you could.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when people are like, oh man, you shouldn't be so PC, this, that, or the other. For me, it's not about being PC. It's about being progressive and kind of, like...
No, you know what, though? This whole ideology of, like, progressive thinking also bothers me. Now, there's nothing wrong with getting smarter with time, technological advances, all this stuff, but there's an agenda to a degree being pushed of this ideology of progressive thinking, but realistically, the fucking ancients that we know nothing, hardly shit all about because the history's been buried and hidden from us.
Yeah.
These people who built the pyramids, they, you know what I mean? Like, they were progressive thinkers. We're not progressive thinkers. We sit in every ideology that we think about is handed down to us from somebody else. It's either through television growing up, it's through social media, through people's opinions, the music industry, people we look up to. Everything we think and feel and opinion we have on everything all just comes from some other influence projecting that into
It does
you.
and it doesn't. Depends.
It,
I don't really watch
does.
TV. I haven't watched TV since 04.
I don't either.
Right.
But
So,
we watch YouTube every day. We
yeah,
watch the
but
industry.
it's
we watch
also
hip-hop,
it's also
we
a
watch,
pick and choose thing, right? Like
But-
even with hip hop, as of the past 15 years, it hasn't influenced the way I dress or what I choose to.
But I'm
do
not
or
even saying the way you dress and stuff. I'm just saying thinking. Like this idea of progressive thinking.
Yeah, I know that, but even with the hip hop, it's not influenced the way I think. Because most of the hip hop in the past 15 years doesn't even talk about thinking. For the majority.
And actually, a point I was gonna make that's right on with that is people say we're progressive thinkers now. Like we think like this is the future. Like all these ideologies and stuff. But people actually like proven, like in studies, are dumber now in the Western world than they've been in like
in
basically since like Canada existed or basically since the States existed. So we're a lot dumber now, but we have this ideology that we think we're these progressive thinkers. Maybe we're just so fucking stupid from being systematically dumbed down that we believe retarded shit.
I don't think people realize that all the progressive things that actually happened 30 years ago is the reason why we feel we're as progressive as we are today.
Well, see, that was real progression.
Yeah.
Because
a lot of
beating down things like fucking sexism and
Yeah.
racism were directly like implemented things happening at that time.
The problem is we're at a
You could
point.
still be fighting
conversations.
You could still be fighting sexism and racism right now
But
because
we're
now
at a point though that a lot
it's
of
still there,
barriers,
just different.
a lot of barriers have been broken.
Still gotta fight it.
There's
Just
people that
because-
want to keep
But
up
instead,
the stupidness.
But instead, we're sitting here fighting over whether or not we believe if two kids are telling the truth in a case with a singer.
But then,
you know what I mean?
Though, it kind of matches what we're talking about in terms of fighting sexism, racism, whatever. Because all those components are being thrown into the mix, and why people are deciding if they believe someone or not,
We live in a really, really interesting
or why they're
time
supporting.
right now.
Put it like this: if
See, like-
with Michael Jackson's situation, if Michael Jackson's situation was exactly what R. Kelly did, same thing, pissing on girls. Them being majority of black women, I would see a lot of black women probably counsel him like they did with R. Kelly.
Which is great. Do what you want.
But it's a lot different when majority of the so-called abused kids were white.
But do you know what? And here's another great example. The fact of, yes, you're right.
Yeah.
A certain segment of people would cancel him. But do you know what the difference is now? Those people have a voice. Where back in the day,
they didn't.
If all these people, for one, all these people canceling somebody wouldn't even know each other.
Yeah.
Because the only reason they connect is because of similar points of view over the internet.
And a lot of people don't know each
trend
other
together.
still, right?
But like, so these people have a voice now. They can group together and have a voice on the internet. You go back 30, 40 years ago.
Nobody had
these
a
people
voice.
were scattered all over the place.
Yeah.
And they basically just had their opinion.
Yeah.
Which was an opinion.
Yeah. Well, it depends on the situation.
But now an opinion is a voice.
The problem is, it's like if we know. Okay, say we knew exactly. Okay, we know exactly what R. Kelly did. We have proof, evidence, or even MJ. We have proof, evidence that he did or didn't do anything. Based on fact, it's not an opinion anymore. If you actually know what happened.
Yeah.
But if it's just you have no fucking clue and you're like, because this is my favorite artist, and because fucking they have some of the greatest songs in the world, and because you can't believe they could ever think of doing it, then it's an opinion.
Exactly.
Just like the woman who bailed out R. Kelly. People are like, how the fuck did he get out? There's a woman who's a super fan
How did he not have the money to bail himself out? Is what the fuck I want to know. This man
I
has
don't
been
think-
doing it for
I don't
almost
think you-
30 years.
I don't think you can post your own bail.
Yeah, you can post your own bail.
But he has expensive, bro.
I
Like
don't
he
know.
has.
His lawyer couldn't post bail for him?
I don't think you can though, because someone has to sign for you, and you like someone's responsible for you while you're on bail.
Anyway,
so I
you
think
mean
you
to
have to
tell
have
me-
somebody sign your bail.
You mean to tell me he couldn't get a bondsman? He's our fucking Kelly.
That's what a
Someone couldn't
bondsman
post
would
that
be.
shit
That's what a
for
bondsman
him?
would be.
His credit isn't good enough.
His
He's
money's
our
probably
fucking
tied
Kelly.
up, bro.
Yeah, tied up, but he do.
And there's probably people handling
Mortgage
the
that
money. There's a
fucking
lot of
house,
shit.
man. Mortgage that house.
see,
He owes money on the house.
This
too.
is the thing though, like we're
Shit's crazy.
we're in a culture now where like. See, like, we have this ideology where we think all these people are getting canceled and stuff, but really, we're the least likely, like us, and I think this is all kind of governed by, you know, the massive social media companies because, you know, they all work with the FBI, the CIA, like, everyone's in cahoots, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's a targeted thing. Like, we have an ideology now that we are like almost like these social warriors, you know what I mean? And we fight and tackle all these problems.
There's a
and, you
segment
know,
of
we're
our population.
progressive thinkers and all this stuff. But people didn't stand for shit a lot more, even go back 30, 40 years ago. President Nixon had to resign from office for a lot less than what Donald Trump has done. We let people get away with a lot more. The only thing is, our anger and our hate gets targeted and directed in
I think
certain
it
directions.
depends. This is generally speaking, I can agree. Specific
People don't fight for shit no more.
but
People don't
specific-
assemble together and
but-
protest hardly for fuck
No,
all
no,
unless
they
the
do,
union
they do.
strike.
They do. But
Not
again,
a lot of
specific situations, specific things, specific groups do what they need to do. As a population, in general, no. The majority of shit that just happens in Ontario alone with our new government, people should be fucking pissed the fuck off.
Yeah, people should be.
But they're pacified. But the reason why is because we live in Ontario.
But
We would rather speak about something going on
Comfortable.
somewhere else
But you know what?
than at home.
and on the B side, right?
Yeah.
You might have all this anger and hatred towards the Ford administration
Yeah.
and all these things that have been taken away and
Yeah.
things that are being implemented, but you don't feel like you have a unified voice with a group of people where you can make a change or a difference. So you know what you can do? You can hop on Instagram and cancel Michael Jackson.
It's not. See, like, it's two different scenarios.
No, but
It's
you-
two different.
It's
put
still
like this,
it's
put
still
like this, hold on,
energy and
hold on. But this
emotion.
is the thing is,
You
right?
feel a certain way about something.
Hold on.
It's like,
Not everybody's trying to cancel Michael Jackson. That's number one.
that's just an
Trust me,
example.
I've seen both sides.
I know, but what
right?
I'm using that as
Yeah,
an
I know that,
example.
but what I'm saying is that's generalizing, right?
But not
And
everybody hates the Ford administration.
Exactly. What I'm saying is not that people hate the Ford administration or not. I'm saying everything that Ford has done up to this point right now, even if you are a supporter of Doug Ford,
Fuck
you
him.
have to put in question what some of the things he's doing. Right?
Yeah.
Some of the things.
Yeah,
not
no,
all
he's
the
gonna
things.
do. I mean,
Right?
he's
It's
gonna go
just
to
like
bat
with the
100
Trump-
times, and he
Yeah.
might hit a home run
Just
5
like the
out
Trump
of those 100
administration,
times.
right? A lot of people that voted for Trump, there's people that have been voted for Trump ended up being deported
Yeah.
because of immigration status.
Yeah.
Now, if they knew that
They
was
feel
going to happen to them,
suckers,
would have
too.
made a different decision. That's the point I'm making.
Yeah.
Right? It's more. It's very. Most of the situations are very specific to
Well,
each individual's
Everything
life.
is misinformation, right?
Well,
and look at the way, like,
what do you mean? Hold on about it. How is it misinformation if say you're a Trump supporter, right? And majority of the stuff he's doing is great to you, but there's one thing he's doing now
Happy
affects your
birthday,
life
Toronto.
directly.
From Turono Talks Podcast.
Now, are you misinformed because he was lying about what he was going to do? Or are you misinformed of the information he put out of what he's going to do that's actually going to affect you directly? Like, it's very...
That's more so the
it's-
misinformation.
Yeah, but it's very... But then, if it doesn't affect you, then is it misinformation? It really depends on the situation.
I get what you're saying.
It's like people that
I get what you're saying.
are people that voted for Obama for the past two
But
terms
I think
are
there's-
now like, I wish I didn't vote for Obama.
Yeah.
Were they misinformed or were they blinded by the fact that they finally seen a black president? Because I've seen a lot of them blinded for that fact.
Well,
I would
that's a big
question.
thing.
I'd
That's
be
a
like,
big thing.
this. Yo, you know, Obama's kind of not like really doing what he's supposed to. Oh, he can't do this. Oh, this
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Give him time to. And now
It's like what people are doing with Michael Jackson.
Yeah, 8 years later, it's like
Give him a pass.
now you got people like Candace Owens are like, okay, I'm going to be a Republican now.
Yeah.
And Kanye West saying, oh fuck, Obama didn't do nothing, so I'm with Trump.
Yeah.
So were you misinformed about Obama?
Well, see-
but now you're running to Trump. But now are you misinformed about Trump?
But one thing I can show too, right? Like they say Trump didn't mean to get in office. Maybe that's a fact, and maybe people made him get in office because he represented something
But
that would
I
help
don't
an
think
agenda.
it's just that, though.
But there's
There's a lot of people that were
making a-
against Obama that voted for Trump.
Yeah, I'm just making a
Yeah,
deeper
yeah.
point though. Is that like with Trump, really feel like there's an agenda being pushed because right now. Like, put it this way, just on the simplistic outsider looking in thought, like if you were an alien, would you not think it's nuts that you live in a country called a democracy where there's two democratic parties basically, the rest of them never really get enough votes to even...
You're talking about Canada.
We'll talk about Trump.
They don't have two democratic. That's what I'm saying. That's why I had to ask. If you're talking about Canada.
Well, they're a democracy, so they technically have two democratic parties.
Yeah, if you want to look at it like that.
They're not truly democratic.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I
the
mean?
democracy is based on who has the most votes,
Yeah.
who has the most power. That's democracy. Democracy is not equality.
But the point I'm making is if you're an outsider looking in,
Yeah.
would it not be nuts to you that you could look at a country that's supposed to be one of the leading countries in the world, and they have a government where the people can choose the government, they basically have two choices, and every person of a certain race is made to hate one of the other parties?
Not exactly.
Don't you think that's kind of nuts?
No, but the thing is, that's not the reality. That's the generalization.
That's the generalization.
But it's not the reality.
But that's why I personally think there's a higher attack being made.
No. I'll put it like this.
Like people are being targeted to want. You know what I mean?
But I'll put it
Like,
like this.
because of the color of your skin, you should not
But listen to what
pick
I'm saying.
your.
This is what I'm saying. The majority of people in America are white. Right? Hold on. The majority.
Are they?
The majority. Based on whatever numbers we're given.
It's getting
No,
even.
The Hispanic, so-called Hispanic is 17%, Black is 13, 12%, and everybody else is below. Right?
But still, they probably equal close to 50 altogether.
Oh yeah, but again, they have their own agendas, so it doesn't matter. They're separate. The black and Hispanic community are not one.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
the
the
Asians
thing.
are doing their own
Yeah,
thing,
that's
whatever.
the thing. Yeah.
Even at 50%, the white majority is
Yeah.
still the majority. Right? Between the white majority, they're split between Republican and Democrat.
Yeah.
Maybe not 50%, but they're split. So, based on what you said, it can't be that whites are picking a side based on race because they're either choosing Republican or Democrat.
No,
And
see,
they're the majority that really basically determines what happens in the country.
what I'm saying is, because no, whites aren't targeted like that, but the black community, since Trump has
But
been in
they
office,
are,
has
but
been
they're
targeted
not.
that you can't even.
It hasn't been
You
since
can't be a
Trump, though.
Republican.
It hasn't been since
It's
Trump.
been deeper than that.
It's been longer, bro. Technically speaking, you could go as far back as 65, and then remember the Democratic Party started the KKK.
Word.
This is how they slowly turned blacks Republicans.
Are you serious?
Blacks were most of them are Republicans.
And this is where the shift happened.
Most of them are
Well,
Republicans.
see, I didn't realize there was a history that deep.
Yeah, it's not
so
because
that's why.
but they weren't Republicans because they chose. It was a choice. It was more the fact that the Republicans were fighting the Democrats in the Civil War.
Yeah.
So, of course, most blacks were Republicans.
Yeah.
And there were even black congressmen and shit like that in the beginning.
Yeah.
I think the
After
switch happened in like
Reconstruction.
60s or something. Like the
Well,
the
technically,
late 50s, early 60s when the switch
with
happened.
the process of KKK violating people, that KKK was a direct response to blacks being fucking Republicans.
Really?
Right? So a lot of Republicans, their whole thing is, okay, well, you guys are Democrats, but you know what the Democratic Party has done to black people from that time till now?
Oh wait, so these roots you're talking about are on the opposite end.
Yeah.
So the black community right now is being targeted to hate a party that was
Basically the
ones
same
who was
party.
there to fight with them, basically in the beginning.
Exactly, and they don't know it just because of the thing with
The rhetoric and the
Lyndon
bullshit
Johnson,
we're taught.
Lyndon Johnson civil rights thing, right? Basically, I gotta get
What's going in?
And I don't want to cut. I don't want to cut. I don't want to cut you off.
Yeah.
But I just want to go back to a point I was making.
Yeah.
And this is why to me
It's deep.
progressive
Yeah.
thinking is bullshit. Because I would rather my kid in grade 3
Yeah.
or grade 4, whatever that young age is that they teach it.
Yeah.
I'd rather learn about that.
Yeah.
The history of political parties
Yeah.
and racial groups and things like that, and how things got to the point they were.
Wait, today,
I would much
yeah.
rather them learn that than they have the freedom to decide if they're a girl or
Yeah.
a boy before they can even have sex.
Yeah, because there's a
That ain't progressive. progressive thinking. That's an agenda, and I'm sorry. Anyone who's offended by it, get fucking offended.
Because that's why we have this Brexit movement.
If you can't have sex yet, you can't decide what gender you want to be. You have to at least have hormones and be somewhat, you know what I mean? Have somewhat of a desire to know, to experience and explore and know things. Like, you can't, before you have a sex drive, you can't, you know what I mean? When I was fucking 5 years old, I would go in I went in my mom's room at least once or twice and put her bra on and shit. You know what I mean?
Didn't mean you were...
In today's world, do I decide like, I think I'm supposed to be a girl because you're young and impressionable and you're like, well, I don't think my other guy friends do that. Maybe I'm supposed to be a girl. And then what? Yeah. You know what I mean? It's illegal for your parents now, if I'm not mistaken, to not, if you express like as a kid, like 8 years old, that I'm a girl, I want to be a girl. If they don't take you to get the sex change, they can be criminally punished.
And send me to jail. Look, I remember my niece.
Like, that is fuck.
When she was young,
that's
maybe
not progressive.
2, 3, or 5, she used to say, I'm a boy. And I said, I used to laugh. But I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
She's definitely not a boy. She's like 23 right now. She doesn't look like a boy to me. She doesn't try to dress. Of
Is
course.
she straight?
Yeah, of course.
People change.
Wow. But this is the
there
point.
You go.
The point is, I understood why she said that. Remember, she's young.
Well, a lot of girls are
she's around a
tomboys
bunch
when
of
they're
boys,
kids too.
and she's roughhousing with boys. You're gonna have that mentality of, like, I'm not different from the people I'm around.
Until hormones and estrogen kick in, and then you start to realize, you know, what you are sexually attracted to.
I think that's like a whole other subject that, like, to be honest, we'd have to bring in people who are experts on that subject to kind of come in and talk about, because it's a scientific subject as well as, you know what I'm saying, like a sociopolitical one.
What really is science? But like, Mother Nature is science, right? Science is a word we make up to understand it and manipulate it.
Okay.
Mother Nature is what science is.
Okay.
Now, I don't even want to make this point, but I have to go here. And now I'm going to be on my Lord Jamar. I'm not saying anything bad. If you're gay, anything like that, that's cool. That's dope. I have no problem with that. You want to adopt kids? Awesome. Live your life. Do your thing. You know what I mean? You want to be bi? You want to experiment? Awesome. But at the end of the day, you're not going to tell me there's a deep science behind it, because there's not. Mother Nature works one of two ways. If there's a deep science behind it where it's meant to happen, then you would be able to reproduce that way. Mother Nature has its boundaries and it's set, and you can decide to divert from off that if not. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's healthy to eat. It's not healthy to eat red meat every day, but it's your decision if you want to or not.
Right.
Now, there's a lot of other things, like, you know, every single day we're pumped with media, imagery, things to think. You know what I mean? All these things, ways to question yourself. There's shit being pumped in our food that makes certain genetics in the brain work different ways. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of things happening. Fluoride in the water. A lot of things that change. No, honestly, but things that change your behaviors and different things in the way you think.
Right.
So all I'm saying is this idea of progressive thinking. All you need for progressive thinking is a society to just be like, everyone, you're cool. Do what you got to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't be a murderer. Don't be a pedophile. And aside from that, you're cool.
But this is
you want to fuck.
right?
If you want to fuck the floor, fuck the floor.
I think that's what we're headed towards.
Well, that's where we're at. But we have
We're
this.
not there yet.
We have this
We're
idea that we're
towards it,
progressive
though.
thinkers, but we're not. We're dumber than we've ever been. We let Donald Trump sit in office for how fucking long? But we canceled President Nixon for the Watergate scandal. But Bush finished 2 terms after 9/11.
Exactly.
Get the fuck out of here, man. We're not progressive thinkers.
Exactly.
We're just fucking dumbed down.
Exactly, bro. I'm still bothered with the fact that it came out that
Happy birthday, Toronto.
war in Iraq was such a big lie.
Of course it was.
That comes
it
out.
was.
And so even the people who
It's the
didn't
thing
think
that-
9/11 was a
Yeah.
missing job, they're like, well,
Of
this
course
is
it was a
fucked up.
fucking
And the thing is, so
man.
like that's the same thing we're saying now. Like with the truth out there, you're not canceling all this other shit, but you're canceling out of convenience.
Exactly.
Because
That's
you
the
feel
point.
it's a fake moral judgment. Go fuck yourself.
I get what you're saying with the whole cancel out of convenience thing, but again, like I said, society is changing, and this is why you're seeing a lot of the oligarchs of society being broken down.
And up
To
until
say,
10
for
years
example,
ago, you could still marry a girl at like 14 in like 5
you can
different
still
states.
do it. You can still fucking
In
do
the
it here in
states, in
Canada.
certain states.
You can still do it here in Canada,
Marry a
bro.
girl who's 14.
Yes, you can.
Okay,
You
so
can
then why
absolutely
is R. Kelly
marry
a
woman
conversation?
in fucking Canada
Because he
at
wasn't
14 years
married
old.
to her.
If her parents
People are
signed
burying
them
him.
off.
People are burying punishing him for marrying Aaliyah, which was illegal in the state.
Because her parents did not agree to. You can get emancipated at 16. You know what I mean? You can, if your parents agree to it.
Let's see.
It happens. There's actually a huge amount of
Mike's gonna fact check.
I want to see in what states it's illegal to marry someone.
At what age?
No. Just Google just Google
If I'm
how
not
many.
mistaken, I thought they changed it a few years
Just
ago.
Google
I don't
how
think
many
there's any
underage
states.
marriages there are in America and Canada.
That are legal.
Surprise. No, they're legal. Yes,
Yeah.
they're absolutely legal. Legal underage marriages in Canada, America. You'd be surprised how many there are.
So this is simply all the point I'm making. I'm not saying I don't sympathize for the victims of R. Kelly. I'm not saying any of this stuff.
Absolutely
But what I'm saying is it's just this society, this social media era. People just bother me, you know what I mean? And I guess it's just when you said like progressive thinking, it was a trigger word, you know what I mean? Because there's an individual who has me blocked on Facebook, and I know you are no longer friends with on Facebook, who I won't mention his name, but you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And he would make posts all the time like, like he was on that progressive thinker tip, and he thought he was smarter than everyone. He's like, if people don't appreciate transgendered marriage with being able to adopt frog babies and like just said like the wildest shit. He's like, then you're a fucking idiot. Like you're not thinking. Like this is 2008.
I'm gonna say it like this.
But that's not progressive thinking. It's anyone should just be able to do what they want as long as you're not killing people and you're not molesting people.
Live in that fucking live.
Isn't that what I think it is?
I don't give a shit if like.
He's known as a snitch.
Okay,
that
good
one.
for that
Okay,
motherfucker.
okay.
But
I've got a transgender brother. I've got a lesbian sister.
Yeah.
I don't love them any less than if they weren't.
Yeah.
Fuck,
Either
whatever
or,
they are. They are what
You
they
have
are.
a
They're
transgender
comfortable.
brother as
Yeah, I
well?
have a
That's
transgender baby
crazy.
brother. He was my baby sister. I
Yeah.
refer to him as he and not her
Yeah.
anymore.
That's cool.
And I love him just as much
That's
as I
dope.
loved him when he was my baby sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't faze me.
No.
People are like, oh, that must be so weird, this, that, and the other. No, it doesn't faze
Yeah.
me. He's comfortable. He's
Yeah.
happier
Yeah.
being
If anything,
himself.
you prefer him
Yeah.
do that,
Right.
then
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, whatever. He calls me, hey, you want to come smoke some weed? You want to come fucking kick it? Whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we chill, like, chilled out with him all night on New Year's Eve, just me and him, some of his friends or whatever.
See,
like,
and that's what I'm saying. I don't want you to get what I'm saying misconstrued, because I'm attacking an issue of something higher.
And this is
So I don't
across
want
the
you to
board,
think
too.
I'm like attacking that
Yeah.
in any means.
No,
Like,
I
I
don't
think
even
that's
think that.
awesome.
I
I
think-
just think there's an agenda being pushed to impressionable minds, where it's this ideology of quote unquote progressive thinking, or,
Yeah.
like telling a fucking little kid. You know what I mean? Like if you grow up and you make a decision. And you're happier like that? Awesome, do that. I'm not saying don't do that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying cancel any of these communities. I think it's awesome. I just don't think it's progressive thinking to be putting certain ideologies that are life altering into the minds of impressionable children.
Yeah.
Because I can't even buy a lottery ticket till I'm 18, but I can choose my sex before I'm 10? Get the fuck out of here. Like, that's nuts.
Yeah.
Well, I
You know
mean,
what I
that
mean?
being said, though, as crazy
that's
as
nuts.
this sounds, as crazy as this might sound, I knew that my one sister who's a lesbian, I knew
told
when
me
she
that.
was
Yeah.
10 years old.
Yeah.
I knew this girl was a lesbian.
Yeah.
She showed no interest in anything
But that's different than
that
her
had
getting
to do
it-
with girls'
that's
toys.
different
And
than her
no, but
getting
her,
it
her
gender
favorite thing,
But
was
being
her
a
favorite thing was
lesbian-
Xena. You know what I
Well,
mean?
but
She
being
wanted
a
me to buy
lesbian
an Ellen
doesn't mean-
DeGeneres
yeah.
poster for her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I laughed my ass off, but I was like, yo, whatever, man. I'll buy free. Like,
Yeah.
it don't faze me.
But
man.
being
Which
gay or
is- once
lesbian
again,
doesn't
it's cool.
mean
It doesn't
just
mean
because
anything.
it doesn't mean that you have no interest in women things.
Yeah.
Because you got girls that are
Yeah.
lesbian. That
No,
are,
she just wasn't
are-
interested in the
yeah.
girly thing.
Yeah,
Not
but
necessarily
you got
women
really.
things.
I'm
Girly
saying,
things.
but there's a
Now
lot
she
of
has a
girly.
son, you know?
But there's a lot of girly things that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now she
That
got
they're
my
And that's what I'm
That's
saying.
right.
I think that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And anybody who either comes out of the closet or decides they want a sex change or anything like that and progresses with their life forward and they're happier that way,
Yeah.
I think all the fucking power to you. Like, that's amazing. You know what I mean? Everyone should live the way they want to live and want to be. But I don't agree with an agenda being pushed on young, impressionable minds.
Yeah.
Because if I was 6 years old putting on my mom's bra in her room when my parents aren't home, and then I went to school and I got taught that, don't worry, these, you know, you might do certain things, but it's normal because you can want to be this, but you know what I mean?
That means when you're doing that means
That might
you're,
mean
that you're gonna be.
I'm
like
starting
that.
to question that after. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I put my mom's bra on last week. Maybe I'm supposed to be a guy. You know what I mean? The next thing you know, you might have been talking to Kelly the female here, 9 years old almost, fucking.
Nah, I don't really think it happens like that.
No,
Like, I
no, but
think-
he's just saying that because.
It goes back
the
to
influence,
the
right?
influence.
Influence.
Yeah.
And
your
everything.
sister didn't have that influence in school to
Yeah.
say, hey, you know what?
I get what you're
You
saying.
need to think like this because
I get what you're saying, but
you're
it doesn't
doing these
matter.
things.
It doesn't matter.
That's
what,
something she
what,
decided and came to.
But I think it doesn't matter what segment of society we're dealing with. You're always gonna have posers, and it doesn't matter if it just happens to be within that community, within a hip hop community, within any other.
You know what?
Type
You're
of
gonna get
community.
more posers the younger the age you get, though. So what now if somebody gets a sex change at 8 years old because they thought it was cool?
I don't think you can get a sex change under 18.
I'm telling you, like look it up. There's this shit like where parents have to promote.
I think you like
the expression
from what I
of.
understand, you've got to go through heavy psychology like sessions and meetings and things like absolutely. It's not just like okay, I'm gonna get this done and you just go get it done.
Well, no, because I've read some like I've been reading some things
huge,
lately that are like under
process.
Trudeau's government where like things have been passed where like parents can be prosecuted if they don't show interest in their children's gender warranted needs, basically. Like if their like kid comes home from school at like 8, 9 years old and is like, I think I'm a girl, and then continues talking like that for like a month or two. If the parent ignores it, and it can be proven, like I read that like you can actually be punished.
Wow.
Because you're like it's like a form of like I don't know, like abuse or harassment or like, you know, I don't know what you really call it, but neglect.
No, I get. I think what they're trying
to me,
really
that's
say.
nuts.
I think what they're really trying to say is like you can't persecute your child if they decide.
No, that's not it. It's not. It's not.
I see both. I see both of what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like laws aren't so black and white. There's a lot of gray area. A lot of people create these memes just to be like, oh, this fucking law.
Well, you never believe a meme. You never believe a meme.
Exactly.
Memes are just pure.
It is what the fuck it is, man.
But
anyways, like all this stuff aside, like we've been talking about politics like more than we ever. We usually don't talk politics at all.
Before we move
Half
on,
the episode's
the only
done.
thing I gotta
It's Toronto's
say,
birthday, man.
hey, before we move on, the only thing I gotta say
Talk that
is
shit.
get me some fucking social media justice warrior who can tell me how the pyramids were built exactly, who just know in their mind, and then I'll agree that we're starting to become progressive thinkers. Because if we can't do it better than the past, then we're not progressive. We're behind.
Yeah, damn right.
So,
Straight up.
Hey, straight
Okay,
up.
man. Well, I got my progressive insurance.
I think people who do
man. I
yoga
see
are as
him
close to
saving a shit
progressive
ton of
thinkers
money,
as we
man.
have. People do yoga and that kind of shit.
Maybe.
And they
what's that
focus on the
dude's name?
chakras and all that shit and
What's
energy.
that dude's name? Norm Chomsky?
Yeah.
Is he a progressive? I don't even care if you're a progressive.
Noah Chomsky's a
I
very
love
actual-
Chomsky. I like. Yeah,
He's the
I-
journalist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a fucking genius.
I think more people should know about that.
He is a
dude.
genius because he's very good at putting both sides
Yeah.
of the argument on the
Exactly.
fence, but really making you take a look at it from an angle that just makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with today's world. That's why I hate this idea of progressive thinking, because we have like all these like it's almost like a storyboard written in our head of how society is and stuff, and we feel like if we think inside these boxes and progressively inside, if we think inside of a box progressively outside of the box in that box, then we're being progressive. And it's like realistically, the smartest thing you can do is wipe your fucking brain clean of any social standard or any sort of guideline to anything and think freely.
Yeah.
And the world becomes a lot more simple and it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. And again, to those who don't think that way, they'll be like, "No, you're talking shit."
Yeah, exactly.
But it is what it is.
But
Everybody
then
has a certain
I'll figure
mind,
out how to build the pyramids before they will. That's all.
Man, we on one today, man. I don't
Yeah,
know what
man.
the fuck's going on
It's
here,
the
man.
tequila.
Hey.
Is it? I don't know.
No, we can blame Michael Jackson for all this.
Oh yeah, he
fuck.
opened up the Pandora's box.
Yeah, he did.
Well, shut up,
Is
Pandora,
it
in
Pandora
her
box?
box.
I hope he didn't actually open a Pandora's
No,
box.
if he's accused of what he's doing.
No, I mean like a girl named Pandora.
Exactly. If he's accused of what he was doing,
I'm
he wasn't
nasty.
near no box.
Yeah, that's true. He
And
was,
I don't, no disrespect to
he was
MJ.
opening Peter's sausage.
Wow. On
Yo,
that
he-
note, we'll be right back.
He could add a street meat booth.
Wow. Well, he did have a fucking
Peter sausage.
a zoo and shit. Like, they had a zoo in Neverland.
They did.
That's nuts.
That's crazy.
That's nuts.
Motherfuckers that rich.
Would you take one pat on the butt from MJ to play at Neverland for a week?
Wow, that's a question that I have.
Like just one pat. Like not
I
not even
wonder.
like a sexual grab. Like
If I
just
really
a little
gotta
pat.
think about it.
Like what? Like when you're your
I
football
was-
players. You
if
know when
I
they
was
do
a
little
kid-
pats on the butt.
If I was a kid that met MJ, what would my mind say? Because he was one of my favorite artists.
Same.
So I would have probably been mesmerized.
take one pat on the butt from MJ?
Now, a pat on the butt is just like a football pat on the butt.
Yeah, a little football pat on the butt.
But even that pisses
But
me
after
off.
but after knowing his history, Would you take the football pat on the butt
As
for
a
a
kid,
week at
or
Neverland?
not knowing, or as an adult?
As a kid.
I wouldn't, like, not knowing as a kid, it wouldn't make a difference.
No, you'd have to know. You have to know.
I probably wouldn't even be there then. If that's what he was about.
I know, but if you were.
I'd be like, Mommy, Daddy, don't bring
But
me
if
here.
you were.
I'm gonna run away from fucking Neverland.
Yeah, but if you were there.
Leave. What the fuck am I doing in a place with a pedophile?
Believe it. All right, as a grown man, would you take the pat on the
Oh,
butt?
hell no.
Not for pat on the butt.
Maybe at the fucking Hugh Hefner's joint.
Man, like, you go to Wonderland, you gotta wait an hour to ride Behemoth. I go to fucking Neverland, just take me a little pat on the butt. I can
Man,
play
if
with
I go to
Monkey
Hugh
all day.
Hefner, if
and
I go
fucking-
to the Playboy Mansion, there are hoes there.
Yeah.
Would you take a pat on the butt from Michael Jackson and Terry Crews to spend a night at the Playboy Mansion?
Pat on the butt. It's only a pat on the butt. So, it's a pat on the butt. I don't give a fuck.
Terry Crews might give you an aggressive pat, though.
Yo, fuck him too. Yo, you know what the
Terry
shit he
Crews,
just
no,
got
what the
into?
fuck?
You know what
Terry Crews,
the shit
no.
he just got into just the
Terry
other
Crews?
day on the internet?
No, what the fuck? I know he was a
He been
porn
on some
addict.
So
bullshit.
the same women that were supporting him
Yeah.
for his thing with whatever.
Yeah.
So he put out this thing about
How known?
boys need to have a father figure
Okay.
in their lives.
Yeah.
At least, didn't say a father, but a father figure.
A male figure.
I fully agree with him.
Understand where he's coming
but
from.
I guess the way he put it, people thought that he meant single women and women in same-sex relationships cannot provide. And I'm like,
Gotcha,
even if
gotcha,
you were
gotcha.
vexed because of that, what he said, he's still right. Because
No, I agree.
you don't have male energy. You don't have it.
Yeah.
I don't care how masculine you are.
Yeah.
Well,
I feel you.
and to be
Understand,
honest,
Right?
I think
So there's certain things you can and can't do.
that's another factor in the feminizing of the male that's going on. And it's
If you call that an agenda,
there's
that's
a
what
lot.
you're
There are a lot of households, not so much now, but more like I would say 70s to like mid 90s kind of thing. But a climax period of where it was a lot of single mothers. A
Still
lot
now,
of
up till
deadbeat
now,
dads.
up till now.
You still have it now, but I
till now.
don't think it's as rampant as it was.
It's literally the same, if not worse.
Is it? You think?
Yeah.
Then
Because
like
remember,
the heroin era?
No,
I think the heroin era
Not
was
even
one
that.
of
It's
the-
not even because it was a heroin era.
Yeah.
It's not just because it was a heroin era. Remember, it's generational too. There's people that are generational, like freaking single parent households.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean,
So even based on what he said,
it
like,
goes back both
I
ways.
grew up
though,
in a
right?
single parent household. But again, not everybody in a single parent household are in a single parent household because of the same reasons.
Yeah.
Right? Now, that's why I agree with Cruz. If it wasn't for my uncles, my cousins, my brothers, people in the neighborhood,
You would have a man.
That's
I
why I
wouldn't
say-
have exactly at all.
Doesn't have to be somebody in
Because
the
I
house.
know my
It
two
can be somebody on
sisters,
the
my two
block.
sisters and my mother. And
Yeah.
then my grandmother moved in. Right? So it's like, it's all female energy. And even my immediate family here, it's mostly women.
Yeah.
But again, I still have my uncles, I still have my cousins, I still have people in the neighborhood, I have my friends' fathers.
Yeah.
I understand
So
where
it
he's-
helps.
I
I
understand
can
where he's
attest to
coming
that
from.
too, you know what I mean?
It helps
'Cause
a lot.
My dad, very passive dude, you know what I mean? The last dude you'd ever expect to slap somebody in the face, very passive. Anything bad happens in life, he's
Yeah.
the type of dude who can like stand back from it for a second, though it
Yeah.
might piss him off.
Yeah.
And maybe now that I'm grown, he'll vent to me.
Yeah.
Like when I was a kid, you know what I mean? Just take a deep breath, walk away from any situation that was like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's only one time I've seen him riled up enough at somebody to like really like go at them, like the cops got called on him and shit.
Yeah.
But this is when I was like more a teenager, right?
Yeah.
And like I was impressed to see that side of my dad. You know what I mean? So I grew up
Yeah.
a very passive dude myself
Yeah.
too. You know what I mean? Like direct
I think
influence.
that's the whole
I didn't
thing,
spend
right?
a lot of time around my uncles and stuff. My brother's
Yeah.
12 years
And
older.
that's
I
the
didn't
thing,
spend
right?
a lot of time with
You
him.
grew up with your father and you had that passiveness.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter if that the father is there. It's more the father figure.
It's the attitude.
think-
Or, yeah.
I think what he's trying to say, and I can understand where the women are getting upset, but what he's trying to say, and it's not so much like a call to like you have to have a male figure. Now he's trying to say like, yeah, stick around, raise your kids. But what he's trying to say is, hey man, if you're on the block and you're the older dude. And you see that maybe there's a younger dude, and he don't have a positive male influence in his
be
life.
that.
Step up and be that dude. The same way, let's say there was a girl who was
Well,
raised in a
that's not
house of all men,
Yeah.
and you were an older girl on the street, and you're like, oh, you know what? She's gonna come into her own. She's gonna go through her period, and these guys aren't gonna be able to explain it to her, and she's gonna go through certain things. You know what? Let me take her under my wing and kind of show her some things because maybe her mom's dead, and she don't have an older sister or aunt.
You know what I find?
So it's just playing that older role. You know what I mean?
And you guys can let me know if I'm wrong. Let me finish
before you interject. What it is, and people got upset at it, and they're not understanding is it's a call to just in general everybody should be a bigger part of the community and understand that it takes a community to raise a child, not just a household.
Yeah. And this is the point I was going to make. I find that is a lot more prevalent in lower class communities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
there's
you know,
I grew up
in the suburbs from like 5 to like whatever, right? But before that, I didn't realize at the time I was a kid, but like we lived like in the hood. Like we had a house, but it was like in a hood area. I realized as I got older, I'm like, oh shit. But you know what I mean? Like I always thought my uncle, I thought he was my real uncle. He was our black next door neighbor.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was with him every day and stuff. I always called him Uncle Art. And I remember the day my parents told me he was not my uncle when I was 3.5.
Broke your heart.
Yeah, I cried.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? How you know what I mean? Because once again, it's just like what I was saying earlier, but everything is influence and everything is only the way you know.
Especially once you put somebody on uncle status.
Yeah.
Like I have cousins. Well, they're my cousin's kids.
Yeah.
And they called me uncle at one point.
Yeah.
I was like, I had to correct them. I'm like, I'm not your uncle.
Yeah.
Like, I'm your cousin. I'm your second
It's like
cousin.
a simplified way of like being like, this is family.
Yeah, but it's like, you gotta get it right. And even my niece, she thought I was her cousin at one point.
Well, that's
I'm not your cousin. I'm
that's
your
why
uncle.
I really like
it's a different authority right now.
Yeah.
That's why I really like that. Like, Filipino culture.
Everybody's your cousin.
You know, it's you know, if it's your older male friend or cousin or whatever, you call him kuya.
Yeah.
If it's your older sister, you call him ate. And if it's your older, your older uncle, you call him, Tito or Tita, right?
Yeah.
But you refer to everybody as either like kuya, ate, Tita, Tito, if they're older than you, as a sign of respect. That's a very big thing in Asian culture.
Like Ian's nephew.
Right.
If I'm at Ian's crib.
They call him Tito.
No, they call me
Tito.
That's Uncle Mike. That's Tito.
Tito Mike. Yeah. Tito Mike. Yeah.
And I'm not part of. I'm not blood family, but that's how they deal with it.
That's what they call it. And if you were just, let's say, an older family friend, they'd have to call you Kuya, which means older brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just a sign of absolute respect.
And the point I was getting to though about I was just saying, like, I think there's a lot more of that unity, that compassion, that caring for one another. Like, there's no father at this house, like I could take, you know what I mean? Maybe like, let's go play ball. Like once we, like that kind of stuff happens, I feel like more in the lower class neighborhoods opposed to, once I got to the suburbs, ain't no neighbors give a fuck what the fuck was going on. You know what I mean? My parents could have been fucking beating the shit out of me and raping me. My neighbors wouldn't have known shit. If that happened back on Alice Street, that wouldn't have happened. The whole block was friends, you know what I mean? Like the whole block used to get together and hang out, you know what I mean?
That's the thing. That's how I grew up. It was beautiful, man.
Yeah,
I was talking to my father the other day, and I'm like, I'm glad they separated, but I'm like, yo, if you didn't separate and mom didn't come back to Toronto, all the experience that I had, I wouldn't have it.
Yeah.
Like,
why? Where's your dad live?
He lives in Alberta.
Oh shit! Hey, so you lived out on the
for a little bit.
Holy shit!
A little bit. I was born here, moved out there, came back.
Oh man!
And then everyone from the neighborhood, like we lived in between two buildings.
Yeah.
And there's a driveway in between. Almost not every day, but usually on the weekend, all the parents, all the kids are out there.
Yeah.
And everyone's looking out for each other.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be.
And this is why the urban community is the tastemakers.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Because they're the groups of people who get to get, like, we did the same thing in my neighborhood, but it was a little mix and it was like a street, you know what I mean? But still kind of lower class and fucking, we all, we'd always get together. But you got to take it, that's a street with, 20 houses, a family in each. You go to, a lower class neighborhood, like where it's like project buildings and shit.
Yeah.
You got thousands of people in those joints, you know what I mean? So if people are coming out and people are connecting, like, that's culture right there. Like that is literally culture.
Absolutely, man. I think like some of the misconception is that like, when you grow up in the hood, that it's all bad and it's all bad all the time. And it's not all bad and it's not all bad all the time. It's very communal, you know what I mean, for one. And, like for two, this is why I don't get on these younger dudes who do mumble rap or party hip hop, this, that, or the other. When you live, a certain way, you don't want to be reminded of that 24/7, whether it's through the music or anything. You want to escape that. So a lot of art that we see, we created it. Your generation created it. Your generation created it. Some of these dudes are just creating escapism art.
Yeah.
You know?
Escapism.
You could rail on how bad the system is, but sometimes people be like, yo, fuck that. I just want to fucking smoke. I just want to drink. I just want to have a good
It's almost
time.
like you already know how bad the system is so
Exactly.
much that it's like you do anything, try to forget it.
Yeah.
So that's
It's like
so-
my homie who passed away, you know what I mean? It's
But you
like
can't
every
ignore all
day,
the
you know,
problems.
I think about it and then I do anything I can to almost not think about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Straight
You know
up.
what I mean? Like,
Straight up.
it's one of those
That's
things.
hard,
yeah.
bro.
You know what? And actually, now that you say that, that's like, word.
Yeah, man, escapism is real. It's a real thing. You know what I
It
mean?
is a
Like
real
that's
thing.
it's a form of art, and
It goes back to bread and circuses.
absolutely
But
right.
that's like, no, that's deep. That's
Everything
deep.
the bread is circus.
Because you know what? And myself, you know, being someone who grew up both basically in the suburbs my whole life, that's the one thing that attracted me to hip hop was the struggle. Because
Right.
there was no other music I could really listen to that really explained the struggle of life. You know what I mean? And then the struggle that some of these, you know, poets are describing and stuff. You're like, yo, like this place is like this in the Western world. You know what I mean? Like this, like what? Like this sounds like it's a war zone and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, you know, and just like.
Let me try something real quick.
Just like that's the kind of thing that attracted me to hip hop. So I mean, at the same time, and that's the funny thing. I think if you look at it, when you see the divide of the people who hate the new school to the people who don't, that are old heads, a lot of them are white suburban people.
That hate the new school?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Trust
It's
me,
the
get a
people who
better
like
ego in
Tech
the
Nine
face.
and fucking. You know what I mean?
I think it's more of a style of music as opposed to
I think it's
understanding why those guys made that type of music.
I think
Because if you like underground rap, you're not gonna like Migos.
yeah,
but if you understand why Migos makes that type of music because of where they're from,
Exactly.
then you
Understand
well,
the
that's the
culture.
thing.
or,
And
yeah.
people,
Understand
They're
the
not
when
culture,
people
right?
come from a certain culture, you understand it. Even if it's not what it once was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You understand it.
Yeah.
As to where other people, outsiders, aren't looking in, which unfortunately for the last, 10, 15, 20 years, hip-hop has been majority fucking...
like club shit, commercialized.
but it's been
all
majority...
about money.
the majority audience has been like suburban white kids.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah,
Are really the funding.
Well, that's the buying
funding.
audience.
Yeah.
That's the audience.
That's what I'm
spends
saying,
money.
but they're funding it.
Yeah.
Funding it, right?
They've always been the ones spending.
So that's
money.
why they like to see a certain thing, and that's why, like, you know, and that's why I think a lot of people, you know, who were like me coming up, you know, who looked at hip hop as this like raw, poetic expression, rugged, you know, your beats were literally stolen music. Like that's how anti-authorial your music was, that you stole people's music to create your own. Like, I don't give a fuck, sorry punk rockers, but that is the most revolutionary form of music to ever fucking exist.
But even punk was revolutionary.
It was,
It
but
just
I'm
got-
saying
it got co-opted.
it's not as revolutionary as that.
Yeah, it got co-opted.
I'm gonna steal your drums, motherfucker. I'm gonna steal your bass line. I'm gonna steal your guitar. Nothing gets more fucking anti-establishment.
and honestly,
than that.
I don't even call it theft. It's more like that's
It's
what they
sampling.
Grew up, that's what they grew up listening to.
Yeah, and it's sampling.
and it's like
I don't call sampling theft. I'm
Yeah,
not one of those
yeah,
dudes.
of course.
But I just I'm saying on the outside
Yeah.
looking in, right? Like it's just
'Cause a lot
there's
of those
nothing
guys-
rawer than hip hop in its truest
a
form.
lot of those guys. Grew
No, I
up,
feel you exactly where you're coming
They
from.
literally grew up listening to that music because of their
Yep.
parents. Because
Yeah.
they were born in '75. They were born in.
And now all these suburban
Yeah.
kids love funkadelic and
Yeah.
fucking, or suburban hipsters or fucking whatever.
They're into
Suburban
that
kids in their
old
20s.
shit.
You know what I mean?
I ain't never met no suburban kids in their 20s who like fucking funkadelic.
That's not long enough,
Dude, the fuck
Why do you
yeah.
think all these record stores are popping up all over the place?
You know what that is?
Man, if a
true,
kid likes
man.
Dude,
Lupe,
records
if
are
a kid
worth
likes
money
Lupe
right now.
Records are
Fiasco,
selling
I
more
bet you he
records
listened to fucking funkadelic.
Yeah.
They might listen to like some EDM. I don't
No,
listen to
bro.
funkadelic,
Like,
but, okay.
there's a reason why all these used record shops are popping up.
No, I feel you.
Like, they're not popping
Do you
up.
know
for
what the
no
other
reason.
like
funny
shopping
thing
at
is though?
Pops.
Because I'm on a borderline. Because I do understand the new school and I
Yeah,
understand
yeah.
why it goes a certain way. And when you made that point, you drilled it home because it really made me like look at it another way and be like,
Yeah.
fuck, I understand it even more.
Yeah.
But I'm also one of those fucking white suburban kids where I'm like, yo, like, you know what I mean? Who's the hottest rapper out now? Like, who's spitting the best? Kendrick Lamar?
Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole,
Kendrick,
Drake,
like,
On
Kendrick-
mainstream level, yeah.
Kendrick ain't even as nice as I Gave You Power by Nas. You know
No,
what
it
I
is.
mean?
Just straight up. Facts.
Woo!
His whole catalog.
This man said Kendrick ain't even as hot as I Gave You Power.
Yo, is
Wow.
Kendrick better than Nas?
No.
Okay, then. That's all we
But
This is
he
what
might
I'm
be.
saying.
Hold on. Let me say this. Just to compare Kendrick to Nas, Kendrick might be like one of the closest things to Nas, but he's kind of like He's a hybrid of
I
a
see
Nas
some cold
and a
nights and
Lupe
bloody
Fiasco.
days. They grab me and bullet spray. They
I
use
feel
me
you.
wrong,
I
so I
feel
sing
you.
this song
I
to
feel
this
you.
day.
I
My
feel
body
you.
is cold still for
No,
real.
I get it.
I was
I
made
get
to
it.
kill. That's
Whoa,
why they
hold
keep
on,
me
hold on.
concealed under car seats. They sneak me in clubs, been in the hands of
Yeah,
mad
I
thugs.
get
They
it.
feed me when they load me with mad slugs. 17 precisely, one in my hand. They call me Desert Eagle. Semi-auto with lead. I'm 7 inches, 4 pounds. Been through so many towns. Ohio to Little Rock to Canarsie. Living harshly, beat up and battered. They pull me out, I watch us scatter. Making me kill for what I feel ain't never mattered. When I'm empty, I'm quiet. Finding myself fiending to be fired. A broken safety, keep me on shelves, under bed. So I beg for my next owner to be a thoroughbred.
Kendrick
Keeping
don't
me
even
filled up
rap
with
like
hollow
that.
hands. How you
And
like me now? I go blow. It's the shit that move crowds, making every ghetto foul. I might have killed your first child, scarred your life, crippled your style. I gave you power, I made you buck wild. Yo, always I'm in some shit.
Okay, stop. Sorry, Kendrick.
Fuck.
That's
Sorry,
what I'm saying.
Cole.
Does J. Cole,
Not
any
even.
of them?
Not
Nah.
even.
I feel you though.
Not even.
And that's not even Nas's most lyrical.
Nah.
Ooh.
Not even Jake and Dr. Nas when it comes to that shit.
Not even
Nobody.
At all.
Are we gonna give Nas the greatest of all time?
I do.
Straight up and
I
down.
do every day of my life.
You know what?
I do without hesitation.
Straight up and
every
down.
single fucking
Straight up
day
and
of my
down.
I
life.
love Hov. Like that's the thing. It depends what mood you
Hov
catch
is
me
the
in.
best
Yeah,
rapper,
but wait.
and Nas is the best MC. And but what I mean by rapper is Hov ain't trying to fucking
No. Hov knows what he's
sometimes
doing.
Hov-
Exactly. Hov's a businessman.
But sometimes Hov is a better technical MC than Nas. Like
Yeah.
fucking, I throw hands on you. They build a hole in the desert. We put the sand on you. Lay out blueprint plans on you. We rap pack niggas. Let Sam tap dance.
yeah, yeah.
Now shot you.
But
Goddamn
you
you.
see,
I
the
put the
thing
boy
is
in the
this,
box.
though.
I
But he
gave
ain't
it
trying
blame
to,
as the
though.
audience
But the
watch.
thing
It
is,
ain't a
though,
thing.
He's not trying to do that on every song.
but
He's
what
trying
I'm
to
Yo,
saying-
do the
wish I
hot
was
thing.
frontin'. I George Bush the button for the oil in your car. Lift up your hood, run it, then lift up your whole hood like you got oil under it. Your boy got the goods, you don't
Stop
want nothing
this,
of
stop
it.
this,
Like
stop
cast
this.
the oil, I
Stop
cast
this,
destroy
stop
you.
this, stop
Change your
this,
face
stop
in the
this.
bullshit.
Rah.
Come on,
This guy is fucking
man,
lonely.
come on.
Goddamn
Like
shit.
Nas don't. I never really heard Nas
No.
get that
No,
punchline-y
no.
metaphorical though.
No, but you're saying punchline. But
They're
you
two
know
different
what?
artists.
The
Just
thing
two
is,
levels of
this is
lyricism.
the thing,
No, two
right?
different styles of
Nas
artists,
is the
man.
poet.
Yeah.
Poet
As
is
is
not.
Kendrick,
Every
as
rapper is a
Kendrick.
fucking poet. Let's stop this nonsense about.
Absolutely.
He's a poet. And he's no.
Absolutely.
Every rapper
Absolutely.
does poetry.
Yeah, Lil Pump ain't a poet.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter. Every rapper does poetry.
Absolutely.
I'll give Lil
Rap
Pump
is
a,
poetry.
I'll give Lil Pump a haiku.
But
before
anyway,
a
it don't
poet.
matter. Rap is poetry.
All right, so what I was saying is
we're not
this.
separating people.
Can
because
I
they're a motherfucking
interject
poet.
real
All right,
motherfucking
all right.
quick?
Stop this nonsense.
Let me interject real quick.
All right.
Let me interject real quick, all right?
Oh, what-
Nas technically is a better rapper than Kendrick. Kendrick, if they were like jazz, Nas is like straight up like the mastery of jazz, and Kendrick is like this new dude who's doing this super unorthodox shit. And you're like, yo, what the fuck?
Like the abstract
He's creating
jazz.
patterns and things that
Like
that,
Herbie Hancock when he did
Right,
Rocket.
right.
choice.
So Kendrick is dope. Kendrick is dope on his own level, and I don't necessarily like comparing the two because, like, yo, Nas has a certain amount of knowledge that people lack. He's a poet laureate. You know what I mean? If there was one lyricist that I could compare to Nas, and this might sound crazy, but you can go and study his lyrics and study who the fuck his father is, and you might be like, oh shit, Earl Sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Earl
Sweatshirt's
Sweatshirt
good.
might be like one of the few dudes who, with his pen, has potential to be just as nice as Nas.
I would say
but what
One
I'm saying
Below.
with Kendrick though,
One
what I'm saying
Below
with
from
Kendrick
Binary
though,
Star.
is different. You know, so he came up in Cali in a different era. He didn't come up in New York, so he's gonna have different things to reference. You can tell he's
The
studying
different
Nas,
reference? Yeah.
but he's more. You
Oh,
see,
who, Earl?
no, both. But
Yeah.
but Kendrick, he has the more like that funk influence, that Dr. Dre influence, as opposed to like that. You know, that New York gritty blues influence. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but that's
So-
more like post.
It's evolution,
That's
man.
more
It's-
post mainstream career as well. Like Kendrick's early stuff was almost more reminiscent on boom bap than it was like the funk Dre sound.
Yeah.
Like listen to Section 80 and shit. You know, like you got like straight horn samples on there and shit like that. Like you know, even the J. Cole joint.
Well, that's just because, you know what I'm saying,
High
like
Power.
he's got to create that persona. He's got to create that foundation.
Well,
You
no,
can't
like,
take those.
Kendrick's dope. Like don't get me wrong.
Kendrick's
but,
the
like,
nicest.
You know, if Nas did High Power first and then Kendrick did High Power first,
Yeah.
but we're talking like same age.
Yeah.
Them at the same age. Because Nas now is an older dude who, you know, has $1 billion investments and shit. You're
Yeah.
not gonna rap like when you talk about Judy's ass, I got hype. I was like, yo, Judy's ass was enormous. Judy's ass was enormous. Yo, you're looking out that Queensbridge window again, aren't you? You're looking out that window again, aren't you? You're just a chip two smile right now, seeing, yo, Judy's ass was enormous. All right, cool. I got you, fam. I got you.
I got to stroll.
I remember a few enormous asses.
Judy is,
yo, I got to give a happy birthday to my girl, Lindsay, by the way.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Lindsay.
At midnight, it's her birthday. I told her I'd give her a shout out. She was drunk when she called me. She probably isn't even awake watching this anymore. But if she is, happy birthday. I promised her I'd give her that before I forget. But yo, nah.
You gotta tell her to put on the fucking Jeremiah birthday sex, homie. What are you doing?
Nah, bro. Nah, if we're playing Jeremiah,
Jeremiah
birthday
sex.
Suck me to sleep.
I like Jeremiah, yo.
I thought she had it in.
Hey.
Suck me to sleep.
Oh, shit. Yo, can we talk about how dope Jeremiah actually is? And, like, he didn't get, like, he didn't blow up the way he deserved
If you make a song called SMTS, and then when you listen to the song, you realize the acronym is Suck Me to Sleep, you are hands down the greatest R&B artist of the generation.
That dude was fucking sick.
And the Joe Budden podcast was hating on that song. I'm like, yo, y'all bugging. This song's fire. And then I played it for Eddie G from the No Condom podcast, and he was like, this is fucking trash. And I'm like, you're whack, too.
Shout out Eddie G,
I don't know anything better in this world than getting sucked to sleep. Someone made a song about getting sucked to sleep. Like, yo, fam, you must be getting sucked to sleep a lot. Like, you woke up in the studio blown. You're like, oh shit, I got sucked to sleep. You're like, oh, let me just make a little.
I don't know if I've ever been like
song about this.
Sucked to sleep. I've been like sucked out of my sleep. I've never been like.
Yo, getting sucked out of your sleep is better than getting.
It's
sucked
a very interesting, very interesting thing because you're just kind of there and you're in your dream and you're like. Yeah, all right.
That's fire.
And all of a
Especially
sudden,
if you already got the morning wood, and then like your dream transforms into the blowjob you're getting, and you're like, yo.
But the whole joke is like when you realize when you're waking up and you realize and you're like, yo, do I play this off? You know what I'm saying? So you play
off and you're still asleep.
And then all of a sudden you hear, I know you're not sleeping.
You're still trying to play it off like you're asleep. Yo,
yeah, but you know that's life, man.
I'm a bad fake sleeper because I try so hard to be a good one that it's just obvious. Or
you got like a big smile on your face or something.
I'm just like, or like making like heavy breathing noises or some shit. You know what I mean? It's like you don't sleep like that. What you doing?
Oh man, fuck.
Pretending. Suck me to sleep.
Oh my god.
That's what's up. Like I said, I've never been sucked to sleep. It's gotta be boring headed.
No, that's what I was gonna say. Is to get sucked to sleep, you gotta be getting so much head that it's actually putting you to bed.
Right?
Like, that's why that song is so fire. Like people,
doesn't his other song too put me to bed?
I don't know, but people
doesn't
just
that sound like that too.
That's the problem with fucking this society right now. You know what I mean?
Then I get it.
And progressive thinkers can't even read between the lines. You hear something like "suck me to sleep," you're like, ah, swag. Nah, that's sick. That means you're getting so much head that it's putting you to sleep. You're like, oh, fuck it. Crazy, it's like a blunt. Like, this ain't nothing. Take it.
I'm going to fall asleep off of this.
If I'm snoring when I nut, whatever.
I'm going to fall asleep off of this one.
Just don't pop it in you.
That's crazy.
You got to be getting mad head to not be cautious of where that nut goes.
Oh, my God.
You're like, yeah, I'm just pass out while you suck my dick, you know.
Or you got a lot of money. Yeah. One of the fucking two, man.
Have a baby by me, baby.
Shit. Here we go. Speaking of like some crazy shit.
You know how 50 has a bad relationship with his sons?
Right.
Do you think they would buy Feel Like 50 secretly on the low?
Wow. Oh, man.
You talking that shit, bro. I don't know. You have to ask Marquez, man. See how
Is that too rude?
I don't know.
Is it too soon?
Might be. Might be a little too early. Ask Marquez, man. Hit him up on IG.
Yeah, you might be able to get at him. He ain't that famous. Like, he's famous because of 50. Famous because of 50.
Like, he's unfamous enough that he would respond to this.
Yeah, he probably would. He probably would. Like,
well, Marcus or whatever your name is.
I was going to say, like, so-and-so, but I ain't going to mention their name because I don't want to get punched in the face.
If you want to feel like 50, you know what I mean? You can get down with the movement, you know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to fix the view on this guy. It's so fucking awkward.
What, is it moving on its own?
No, I was moving. This is like a little slightly time delayed.
Okay.
Slightly time delayed. I'm trying to, we didn't really got like a lot of views here. I'm trying to figure out if people are liking the new, the new technology and whatnot. And
whatever, it's the first.
Speaking of crazy shit, though, what I was going to say before you cut me off is, like, see a lot of people on my Facebook timeline are pissed off that an Amber Alert wasn't sent out for those 4 kids. But, my whole thing is, like, people, you got to understand, Amber Alerts, you can't just send out an Amber Alert You know what I mean? Like, Amber Alert can only really be sent out when
So
people are
abducted,
abducted.
yeah.
No. When they're abducted, you know they've been abducted. You know they're in imminent danger. And you have a description of who abducted them or what their vehicle looks like. Without any type of suspect, you can't really just say, okay, issue an Amber Alert, because it doesn't serve, the public any type of good or anything. You know what I mean? So
Wait, you're saying an Amber Alert doesn't serve the public any good?
No, I'm saying issuing an Amber Alert when you don't have a description of who took the actual people being abducted.
Yeah. Didn't we already talk about this?
No,
No,
what happened
there
was
was
yesterday.
the other day,
Four
Sunday or
black
something.
kids were missing yesterday. They were eventually found.
Yeah.
So
They went to the movies at like 11:30.
Yeah.
They didn't come home.
Now, why are little kids at that
At the movies
age
at 11:30? Yeah, they're
number
like
one?
12 and 13. Bro.
So
Who the
number
fuck
one,
knows?
number two is
Alright, but all I'm saying, if you're gonna blame the parents and keep that same energy.
No, the thing is that people are like, why wasn't there an Amber
Michael
Alert?
Jackson,
Why
R.
wasn't
Kelly.
there? Yes, of course. But the people are saying, why wasn't there an Amber Alert? Well, there wasn't, because they weren't abducted.
Right.
They didn't have a description of the person. And they were found after the fact.
Yeah.
So what the fuck are you worried about?
No, they were absolutely found. You know what I mean?
And they're all
this is
fine?
Yeah, they're all
Yeah.
fine. So this thing too, like, and this is when I knew, like, when I kind of heard the story, like, I don't think anything really happened to them. Is when have you ever heard of 4 kids, let alone 4, black kids, inner city urban black kids, getting abducted? Who the fuck has the power just to be like, hey, you 4 kids, I'm gonna fucking?
No, I'm pretty sure one of them kids is like, nah,
Mhm.
fool. This ain't happening.
Exactly, right?
It's
They're all gonna throw
about to go down.
Yeah. I'm
Like,
yelling,
that's the
stranger
one thing
danger,
I think is
bothering
nuts.
you. Like,
how
it's
like
not
older
happening,
people
man.
think little kids are these weak little impressionable things.
No, once
Anyone who's over 13, like, yo, if
Yeah,
three
it's not
13-year-olds
happening.
come up to me on the street and they're like, yo, you pussy ass white boy
might run that
motherfucker,
shit.
hey cracker, run me your chain. I'll be like, all right, little man, you're my chain.
You're running that shit, eh?
I ain't funning fighting. 13-year-olds ain't got shit to
Let me
lose,
tell you a
fam.
fucking story, man.
I have more violently abused people in the
Yeah.
ages of 12 to 14,
Let me tell
maybe
you a fucking
15,
story.
than any other period of my life.
Let me tell you a story.
I ain't playing with youth.
I was 19.
Bobby Schmurder's still in prison.
I was 19.
I ain't playing with
check this
you.
out, check this out. I was 19, right? And my boy, every Thursday, he would have these nights where, like, we go to his garage and we'd all just, like, smoke the most weed and just whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I'm coming home back to my... He lived, like, a 5-10 minute walk from where I live back in Malvern. So I'm coming home and I see a group of, like, 5 or 6 little 13, 14-year-olds coming towards me.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking in my head, like, fuck, it's about to go down, because they're just... The way they're just walking towards me is like they wanted that smoke. And there was this one little tiny one, like, really short. And he just comes walking up to me. He's like, yo, excuse me, you smoke?
I was gonna say, he probably asked you for a smoke.
No.
A lot of time, that's all they
They weren't
want.
even asking me for a smoke. I'm like, yo, not really. But one of them was like, yeah, he smokes. I could tell. So I'm like, oh shit. And I'm smoking cigarettes or whatever, right? So yo, they looked at me and they're like, yo, how do we get out of this? And then in my head, I'm like, I realized what happened. I was thinking like, yo,
They
I
got high?
fucking
And
they
they're
got high
tripping?
for the first time. Chicken balls, bro. So I'm like, oh shit.
Yo.
The one kid reached up and touched my face. He's like, yo, how do I get out of this?
You're probably so happy to be able to help them. You're like,
Oh,
yo, come here,
shit.
little man.
I was just like, man, listen,
You can't look at them as even though they could be a potential
Yeah.
being the evil.
No, I had first said I was like, okay, might go down, but like as soon as they said that, I was
I
like,
always
and they told
remembering
me,
when you were a kid.
Yeah.
If you can't remember when you were a kid,
Right.
then you can't relate.
Well,
to
that's
kids.
how I look at every
Yeah.
kid. I look at it like when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I know when
I'm
I was
still a
13,
fucking kid
14,
myself when I think
I was
about it, though.
really high on
Shit.
weed, maybe a little drunk,
Yeah.
and I was scared of anyone